Hi everybody, welcome to Thursday. So how did you get on with the Imperial units for measurement yesterday? Hope you managed all right, got some good work through. It was quite tricky, but you persevered really well. Now today we're going to be looking at more Imperial units, but this time we're going to be looking at Imperial units of mass. So let me share my screen. Now remember, if we're looking at mass, then we are looking at things, mass is all about weight and how heavy things are. So when we think about mass in metric units, that's where we were looking at kilograms and grams. Now, in the imperial units, this is where we're looking at pounds and ounces, okay? So Alex here, she's gone to the market and she would like to buy 32 ounces of apples and 4 ounces of blueberries. So what they want to do now, they want you to say how many pounds of each type of fruit should Alex ask for. Now, down here at the bottom, you can see that 1 pound is the same as 16 ounces. So it says here she wants 32 ounces of apples. Now, does anybody's mind trigger a little bit here to think, oh, 16 to 32? So if I double 16, I get 32. So that means that 1 pound is 16 ounces, 2 pounds is 32 ounces. So there we go. We've actually got 2 pounds of apples. Now then, let's just flick onto the screen because I've got it all written up on here. Let me just move my head again in the way. All right, so like we've just said then, the apples there, we've got 32 ounces of apples, and that's the same as 2 pounds because 32 divided by 16 is 2. Now, she then, though, wants some blueberries, but blueberries, she only wants 4 ounces. Now, that's less than a pound, isn't it? Because we know to get 1 pound, we need 16 ounces of blueberries. This is a bit more tricky. Now, I've here put a little table at the bottom because 16 ounces, we only need 4 ounces. That actually means you could share it, couldn't you, into 4 groups of 4 ounces. Therefore, that means 1 divided by 4, so if we've got a whole pound and we have 4 in each group, is going to give you a quarter. So by having 4 ounces, we've actually got a quarter of a pound of blueberries. It's a little bit more confusing, I think, when it's less than 1. So 16 ounces makes 1 whole, whereas if you've got 4 ounces, then you've only got a quarter of a pound of blueberries. So Alex should ask for a quarter of a pound of blueberries and 2 pounds of apples. All right, so here's some think together ones to have a go at. How many grams of raspberries are there in 1 container? So we know that 1 ounce is the same as 28 grams in metric units. So if we've got 15 ounces, then we're going to have to multiply 28 by 15 because we want to know how many grams that's going to give us. Now this here has started our multiplication, our long multiplication, which we haven't done for a little while. So we've done, first of all here, and let's just get my pointer at my pen. So we've started, remember when we're doing a multiplication like this, we always start with our ones. So we've done 5 times 8, which is 40, carried the 4, put the 0 here. 5 times 2 is 10, and then I've added the 4, so actually we could cross that 4 out. Now, once we've finished multiplying by our ones, we move on to multiply by the tens. Now, that's where we should think, oh, I need my placeholder, I've got to add my 0, which they've done here. So 1 times 8 is 8, 1 times 2 is 2. And we can add it all together. So 0 add 0 is 0. 4 add 8 is 12, so I carry the 10 and I put the 2 underneath, and then 2 add 1 is 4. So that gives me an answer of 420. So 28 times 15 is 420. So the raspberries weigh about 420 grams. Okay. Now then, in 1 pound, like we said earlier on, there are 16 ounces. So we've got to work out the number of ounces in these amounts. So if 1 pound is 16 ounces, to work out 4 pounds, what have we got to do? So we've got to actually do 16. And what we're going to times it by this time, if we've got 4 ounces, we're going to multiply it. Oh, look at my 6, it hasn't joined up. 16 times by 4. Now, is there a quick way to do that in our head? We earlier saw that double 16 or 16 times 2 was 32. So if I want to times by 4, I can just double that answer again. So 16 times 2 was 32. And what's double 32? Let's break it down. 30 times by 2 is 60. 2 times by 2 is 4. So it's 64. So £4 is the same as 64. If that's a bit confusing and I've talked a bit quickly through that, you can always set that out into a column multiplication like this. But it's always good to have a go at thinking of ways that we could do things mentally as well. So you could have set it out like that and you'd get the same answer. All right, now £10. If I want to know what £10 is, again, I know that in £1 is 16. So if I've got £10, I've got to do 16 times 10. And so that's going to give me an answer of 160 because everything has moved one place larger. Now £0.5, I need to go back to my £1, don't I? Because I've got to then think, well, in £1 there are 16 ounces, but I only need half of it. So if I'm halving, what am I dividing by? I'm dividing by 2. So 16 divided by 2 is 8. So that gives me 8 ounces. All right. Remember, if these, sometimes I'm talking too quickly, I'm trying not to make the videos too long, but if they're too quick, you can always start them again and listen to parts again, or send me some emails if any of this is a bit confusing. All right, part B, how would you work out what 3/4 of a pound weighs in ounces? Now, can you remember, did I give myself another space here? No, so if we're doing 3/4 of something, I'm trying to recall where we left off before we finished school. If we're working out 3/4 of something, we want to know what 3/4 of, I don't know why I'm writing sideways here, but it seems to be just the easiest way, of 16. It's like a two-step problem, isn't it? So you divide by the denominator first. It's like number 1, we divide, so we do 16 divided by 4, which is 4, okay? And then for part 2, we then have to multiply that answer by the numerator. So we do 4 times 3. So 4 times 3 is 12. So 3/4 of a pound would be 12 ounces. Sorry about my 2 there, it looks a bit funny. All right, so here is your work for today. Again, my face, let me move me. Power Maths books today, page 126 to 128. And again, you're going to be converting, but with the units of mass. And I hope you get on all right with that. And I'll see you tomorrow for Friday's work. All right, have a lovely day. Bye-bye.